Hi, Shell Point. I'm Jeff Corey from the Legacy Foundation. Today I'm joined with CJ Galata from Connected Living Memory Care here at Shell Point, and we're going to talk to you about an upcoming caregiver support group. It's going to be very exciting on November 8th. So CJ, you're director of our Connected Living program. I hear a lot of great things. We're going to have this program for caregivers, so I know that's an important thing. Can you talk a little bit about what that means for our caregivers to get some more support and encouragement, education?
Absolutely. Being a caregiver can be a very challenging role. It changes the relationship of who you're caring for, and it's important for the caregiver to think about how they can be supported. Their focus is always on their loved one, and it's important that they also consider their needs of how they can better enhance the role of caregiver as well as find support for themselves.
Right.
I know that also friends and family often look for ways to support not only the person who is receiving caregiving, but how can they help support the caregiver?
Right.
And being informed, educated, some tips, tools, tricks of the trade, if you will,
Sure.
can be helpful in allowing them to support a caregiver as well.
Right. Are there things that we see with, especially or specifically with Alzheimer's and dementia, as far as what the caregiver challenges are?
Absolutely. So sometimes something as simple as communication, a communication style. There are do's and don'ts that are recommended for communication. Oftentimes somebody doesn't think to take time for themselves. They don't think about some of the little things with safety in the environment. They may think of the big things, but they may forget and overlook some of the little things. So having an opportunity to gather together to share information and learn from each other as
Right.
well as professionals can give an opportunity to make you better prepared as a caregiver to feel more confident in that role, and then the circle of people that support you as a caregiver, this kind of information can be helpful as well.
Right. So we're fortunate to have Eileen Poyley, who's the Director of Education for the Bird Institute, Alzheimer's Institute at the University of South Florida, will be with us November 8th for a great workshop for caregivers. Everything you'd like to know, as you mentioned, tips and tools and that sort of thing. It'll be a time of encouragement. It's going to be at the Village Church on November 8th from 1 to 3 p.m. What are some of the things you think you'll walk away with to be able to help support and encourage our residents?
Well, I think being able to collaborate with someone like her that does this workshop and thinking about what we have put in place for Shell Point and maybe looking at are there things that we can continue to add. I'm very excited for the opportunity not only for caregivers but friends of those that have
Sure.
Alzheimer's or dementia, friends where you know your neighbor or your friend or your family member is a caregiver. Maybe they're local, maybe they're from a distance, but it's really important for all people to gather together and get that information.
Right. I think, this is not only for people that are in the caregiving now, but preparing for the future.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Shell Point, please join us on November 8th, 1 to 3 p.m. Caregiver Support Group. This is a great workshop. You're going to learn a lot, specifically for Alzheimer's and dementia. But if you're a caregiver for your loved one in any way, I'm sure you're going to learn a lot at this workshop. So please join us. And thank you, Shell Point.